Charlie and I have been working pretty hard here for the last 10 or 15 minutes, kind of perfecting, his leading and perfecting the turns. What is it that the basic round pen work can do, to help us train our horse to lead better, to have better control? And here are some of the things. What we're going to do is work on the outside turn. So now remember, we only have to control 2 spots, and we're going to use the formula motivator, spot, direction, reward. The 2 spots are 1 spot on his nose, and we're going to have his nose go away from us and towards us. Remember, it can only move 6 directions: up, down, right, left, forward, and back. What we're going to choose is left and right. We're also going to use the spot on his hip, and for that, we're going to choose the direction of forward. So, formula is going to be pressure. We're just going to create pressure. This creates pressure, and then we're going to look at a spot, pick our spot, and we're going to choose a direction. And so we're going to choose forward, and we're going to add that pressure. As soon as that spot moves forward, we're going to take the pressure away. We don't want to leave the pressure on. We don't want to keep pushing and pushing and pushing, our horse. What we want to do is ask him to go, and then we should be able to stand in the middle and have him continue going until we ask him to do something different. So we don't want to come over here and push and keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing the whole time that he's going around the pen. So he's going forward. So we've got the hip spot going forward, and it's going forward consistently. Then we're going to take the nose. The nose, the direction is to the right or towards the fence. So we're going to add the pressure. We added pressure to the nose until the nose maintained the pressure and release the pressure right there. Okay, now, so go forward, nose, here we go. We're going to add pressure. Pressure, release the pressure right there. And forward on the hip, nose, away from us, release the pressure right there. So there, with that, we have the 2 outside turns. Now we can work on the inside turn. So we would have the horse, the hip spot, go forward, nose, pressure, continue the pressure, continue the pressure. We want the turn to the inside. So as soon as the nose starts to go to the outside, then we keep the pressure on. As soon as the nose starts to come to the inside, then I stop and take the pressure away. So we do that on both directions so that we can get the inside turn and the outside turn. Well, what can we do with just those 2 turns? As we practice them, what can we do? Well, here's some of the things we can do with just the inside turn. If we just stayed practicing the inside turn, pretty soon Charlie wouldn't be going all the way to the fence. He would be going just part of the way and then changing directions. So I send him out a little bit, send him out a little bit. He starts bringing his head back to me where he doesn't want to go, and then because he doesn't want to run to the fence, he doesn't want to go to the fence. And so here's the inside turns right here. Now look at this. He leaves his head to the inside. He starts watching me. And then change directions. Forward. Now as I practice this, what will happen, if I just stay doing the inside turns, pretty soon what will happen is Charlie will start to pivot on his hindquarters, and he will turn back and forth. No different than what we want him to do on the end of a lead rope. Jody was practicing this with him at one time in the shows, and so where we have him go forward, inside turn, change directions, stop, pivot on your hindquarters, change directions. This is what it would look like from this side. Change directions, and pivot, change directions. Move the horse back a little bit, out a little bit away from me, and pivot, change directions. So there's part of what the inside turn will do for us. Another thing that the inside turn will do for us is this. If pretty soon, rather than standing out in front of him to do the inside turn, I come back here, come right along his side here, and ask him to make the inside turn. And then pretty soon, I don't go all the way back to his rump to make the inside turn. I have him make the inside turn here. And then pretty soon, I can stand right here by the base of his neck and ask him for the inside turn. And then pretty soon, what happens is he learns, as I'm standing and facing this direction, if I turn around and face this direction, he'll turn around as well. So all of that is just practicing that little inside turn. Well, the outside turns are this right here. We end up with the horse. At first, we start the outside turns and we're 30 feet from him. You know, he's out there by the fence. Well, as we practice that outside turn, if you kind of focus in on his shoulder, his left shoulder right here, what we're doing is we're saying to his left shoulder, move away from us, move away, move away. Well, that would be if he was standing too close right here, or if he was going to spook at something on that side of him and come towards me, what I would be able to say to him is, move your shoulder away, take your shoulder away. Well, pretty soon, what happens is I can get closer and closer and closer to him and have him move his shoulder away until pretty soon I'm standing right up here by him and having him move his shoulder away. So I can be up here, bring his nose back this way, inside turn. So there's the inside turn. Now, outside turn, inside turn, outside turn, outside turn, inside turn. Come on back, good. Inside turn, outside turn, outside turn, inside turn, and outside turn, outside turn. And as I make this outside turn, pretty soon I'm up right next to his nose where I'd like him to lead. Well, then pretty soon I just make the outside turn bigger and bigger. Now what I've taught him is that when I walk forward, you know, he's to walk forward with me. As I practice the outside turn and the inside turn, pretty soon what happens is he actually starts taking a step back. And so, there we go. Outside turn, inside turn. There's the step back. Good, good, Charlie. So then, what I've done is I've worked on, come on, Charlie, good boy. Outside turn, inside turn, and outside turn, and back. Come on, you can do it, come on. Outside turn, and outside turn, outside turn, forward, and back. Good. Good. So we can go through all of those steps before we actually even put a halter on him the first time, and have our horse leading so much better than using a severe halter on him, or a chain over his nose, or if he's a stallion, anything like that to get him better about leading and going where we want him to go. All right, so that's the purpose of the basic round pen work, is to be able to control him, get him to stand still where we want him to stand still, get him to back up when we ask him to back up, get him to stay there, to ground tie, so that we can walk to him with a saddle. We can walk to him with a saddle blanket. So we can teach him to start to spook in place where we want him to spook and not take off. So there are so many different things that we can benefit from, you know, in teaching him some of the basic round pen work.